All right, it's on WarDawg TV. Let's get it, baby. We mad. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go to war. Woo!
Game on the line in the fourth, running up and down the court. I kill him, I do it for sport. Crunch time, when it's crunch time, I'm always gonna put in the work. You just keep coming up short, but somebody gotta get hurt. Crunch time, when it's crunch time, ooh, it's all about us in the end now. I ain't out here making friends now. Hit them with a turnaround if they wanna see how it pans out. I'm just trying to be a champion, trying to leave behind a legacy. MVPs in the ambience, but they champ for me. I'm always gonna put in the work. I'm just trying to be a champion. I'm always gonna put in the work. MVPs in the ambience. I'm always gonna put in the work. I'm just trying to be a champion. I'm always gonna put in the work. MVP, but they I'm always gonna put in the work. I'm just trying to be a champion.
Oh, brother, please let us know for last thoughts, our listeners live and on podcast.
All right, we know that I do joke quite often about my attempted escapes from the psych ward, but in all seriousness, the psych ward gang is seriously my idea of representing the military. Representing mental health in the military community. So if you happen to run into any type of mental health crisis or emergency, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial 988, press option 1. Again, just as I had to do when I was in a moment of crisis, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial the digits 988, then press option 1 if you find yourself in a similar mental health crisis. Hello and welcome to episode 65 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. I am your host, Sergeant WarDawg. Welcome back to the show. I have the father of some amazing young ladies for you as our guest today. But before I bring him on, let's discuss some things. All right, first off, my nonprofit, my homeless war veterans camp in Central Florida, Camp Doghouse, is now up and official. We are now at campdoghouse.org. And you can head over to that website to find out more about the land that we purchased already, about the RVs that we're trying to purchase for the disabled veterans to live in. And you can also watch some videos that we've made so far to show our progress along the way. As you can see, we're looking to acquire about 10 to 12 RVs, and we're trying to put 2 men in each RV to allow them to get back on their feet and to get off the streets for those that are homeless. All right, next. Reaper Apparel Co. Remember, I'm a brand ambassador with Reaper Apparel Co. And you can use my code Sergeant WarDawg TV for 10% off your entire order. You can see below in the ticker the website for Reaper Apparel Co. as well as my code Sergeant WarDawg TV. Next, Peace for Warriors. Peace for Warriors is a nonprofit that takes veterans out to volunteer around the world. Peace for Warriors has an upcoming trip in March of 2024, which I will be a part of, where we'll be headed to the Philippines to volunteer to work on a school in a village just north of the Subic Bay. So check out Peace for Warriors at peaceforwarriors.org. And finally, Sergeant WarDawg TV was awarded 2 awards this year in 2023. The first was from Acquisition International magazine, and we were named the leading veteran welfare outreach nonprofit organization for 2023 from the USA. Now, Acquisition International is actually based in the UK, which makes this an international award. Next, we won our second award from Corporate Livewire, which is also based in the UK, and they named us Veteran Support Nonprofit Organization of the Year for 2023. All right. And without further ado, I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, Fred, father of the Survival Sisters. Fred, welcome to the show, boss.
Thank you, Sarge. Thank you. Thanks for having me, baby.
All right. I got to tell you, I am so impressed with you and your family and the way that you have raised your daughters. I've been a fan for over a year now. It started for me when a little over a year now. I learned when I bought a Caliber magazine and saw them on the cover.
Okay.
And I was so impressed then. And then I've seen videos of them doing things like infantry patrol formations and stuff like that. And with me being a former Marine grunt myself with 3 tours in Iraq, when I saw them in formation, something in me jumped because they did it so well, so perfect. They were so on point that I knew I just had to reach out one day to see if I could get them on the show or to get you on the show to talk about them. So I can give you nothing but hats off, praise, and salute on how you raise your girls. I got nothing but good things to say about you and the things that y'all have going on.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. You know, it's been, it's definitely been a journey, you know, and people, I think a lot of people don't really understand like what survival really means, how that really all evolved into what it was. Really, to be honest with you, Sarge, it's one of those things where, like I told you before, you know, out of all my friends, like we do a lot of training. Together. Mixed group of guys, and like I said, we believe in functional fitness. We believe in shooting. We believe in being ready for whatever the life brings, pretty much. And I didn't realize the importance of shooting until I joined this contracting group, and I was gonna go overseas and work. But then in the midst of all that, like I said, you get school and you learn all this stuff. You learn more stuff you ever learn. You know, it wasn't like we were taking practice and people were like, we were like, when you got to the advanced level and passed certain classes, you stood by the target to make a shot. When they were shooting at you to make sure that you didn't flinch when you were on your second spot.
Okay, that's the precision I'm talking about.
You had to be confident. If that gun is up, it stays up, and if you get hit, if you just didn't drop, you better let somebody know. You better know your target is taken care of. But they did all kind of stuff to make sure that we were ready and we were tough enough to engage. But that's when I learned the difference between self-defense and protecting yourself. Big difference, because if you want to go home, you learn how to protect yourself. But
Exactly.
you know, we would go out to the range, or we would go to the property and we would go shoot. And we would do different. And the girls would always sit there on the sideline. They wouldn't, they had to go because I was going. You know, but when all your friends got boys and you got girls, it's kind of like they bring them up, teaching them, you know, teaching these boys and stuff. Well, the girls got tired of it. They got tired of it, and they decided that, guess what? They wanted to engage as well. So once they started, like I understand, people don't understand that these kids been doing it since they were 4. They haven't had a break until they became teenagers. That's why a lot of people don't see a lot of them now, because they're teenagers now. And the love of guns is like a love-hate type thing. You know, like when you become a teenager, you start going to school, because they go to public school, you know, it's always like, if I get into an argument or a fight, oh, she's gonna bring a gun to school. So, you know, they kind of pull back from it, not because they stop, it's just, you know, the internet loves you, but also the internet can also hurt you as well. You know, it's one of those things. So when you're trying to live a normal life, get boyfriends and things like that, it's kind of hard when you're doing stuff that your boyfriend don't even do.
Oh, bro. Oh, that's some deep right there. I like that.
they definitely love. They actually take the other kids out, but I don't take other people's kids out. You know, the parents can come out. And so, you know, like I said, this is something we started when me and their mom got divorced. You know, I didn't want this to be like that milestone point in their life that they default to when things start happening. So I want to give them something else. That's why we always call it change the narrative. Change the narrative is like in our life, man. We got the power to change our narrative. You know, whatever you speak out your mouth becomes flesh. So you can't keep and dwell on one thing or give it life. So we started survival. And that's what it's about. Really about them being able to engage in something that can become your world. And it's a great word. The world was very accepting. You know, it was very accepting. They brought them in, and I got guys that we run with. Some of them 7 Group Special Forces, some of them 11th Bravo. We got people that are Foxtrot Charlie. We got a lot of guys that bring different skills. So the kids don't just get instructions from me; they get instructions from other people. Even the new ladies that we have. Like now, we open it up to the older survivors, because gun companies had a problem with really sponsoring the girls because they were kids, and nobody wanted to be a kid gun tuber. In which it was never for the kids anyway, you know, because most of our demographics, moms and dads from 35 to 65. So those are the people, and of course, you know, everybody that's into this lifestyle, man, they enjoy what we do because we make it possible. Like you even watch a lot of ladies come on now, the older ladies that come on. Those older ladies come on, they really come out there and train. They don't come out there with egos. They don't come out there saying they know, you know, and they take the training, they do well, and we have a survival game that we set up every year for them. So we got different groups that come out and they participate in survival game. We got a 488 piece of property, and we have whole scenarios set up out there where people have to engage. You have to do, it's 4 stages. There's a medical stage, there's a survival stage, there's a hand-to-hand stage, and there's also the fighting engagement stage. And so they get an opportunity to go out and participate in this game, and all those skills they learned all year, then that's what they get to use in the game. And people, it's not like we shoot all the time. We do shoot a lot, don't get me wrong. But we do more than that. Just the internet don't like the survival stuff or the navigation. That stuff is too slow and boring for them. So, for us, you know, like I said, we do put a lot on the shooters because, you know, we do have a lot of guys that they love their gun. They love the Second Amendment. So, you know, we make sure that we have that. But there are people that we have sponsors that definitely kick in, and you know, they provide different stuff for us. So that's always a plus. But it's been a great journey, man. The community has showed love to these kids. You know, it's just as they got older, the world outside of the 2A has been resistant to it because it's challenging the norm. It's not the norm for 4 little black girls to do this. And so at every turn, it started being more of a pull in life, you know, whether it's school, whether it's for teachers, or somebody run across the page or see the magazine or things like that. Like we've been recognized by the House of Representatives. We got a proclamation from the governor. I mean, from
Oh, okay.
So, you know, just for the effort that we put in the community, because like we're here in Georgia and we're a pretty big group. Like we're not a small group at all. And you know, you have instructors coming through and they teach everything from long range, close quarter combat. You get vehicular ambushes. We get everything. There was a group that just would participate. We're here in Georgia, and it's called the Gunfighter. And so every year we go to the Gunfighter, and they would have different scenarios. You know, they would be keyed up for us to be able to engage in different levels. So you have different groups. It's kind of like the SWAT game now, what the SWAT team does, but it was like that way.
Yeah.
Like that with your group, and you would engage all these different scenarios. And so we pretty much took that and we're running with it now. And this is what we do for everyday moms. I mean, dudes do it too, but we have another section that guys go up on. For the girls, it's always going to be survivors because that's a direct representation of my children, and it will always be there, you know, because they definitely gonna come back because they definitely are just trying to find their way. They're teenagers, so you know I gotta make that choice as far as, you know, do I let them go off to college if I find themselves, or do I let them find themselves while I still put my hands on them? So I chose let them go and search the world while I put my hands on them before they go off to college. Because the oldest one is in college right now. She's a junior. Matter of fact, she went to school early. And
Okay.
it's just, I mean, they doing well. They definitely adapt well. But the gun world was their escape. We go to all these. I know you know a lot of the guys that I know. I know you know Juan with Q Culture and Jada Shooter and all those guys. You know, it's a lot of guys that come out, they come down, they've engaged us, man. They've had a great time. We developed lifelong relationships. So my kids know a lot of these people. Even people like Iraq Vet and those other guys. Those guys, they've been very supportive too as well. You know, so we're here to stay, and Survivors is gonna get bigger and better because these are everyday moms, man, coming out of their mom stage and engaging these guys who have done these jobs for real overseas and different places. Contractors, defense attorneys, investigators. We have a lot of people that come out and do this. A lot of EP guys, and we do stuff like we have a whole we do extraction on the property. We do raid. We do a lot of stuff, and people get to put their input on. So I know a lot of times you see us talking about clinics. Like we have a lot of clinics, and those clinics are where we bring different people from different groups. And you know, every department, every agency, or every letter group, they do stuff. They have different SOPs for different things.
Yeah.
So when you come together, you have to bring some guy. You have to bring a guy who's currently active, because it's a big difference between a guy that's currently active and a guy who's been active. Because things change, SOPs change, and so you get these guys together and they teach different things in the clinics, so that way you know you can run smooth, but at the same time keep people at that functional level, so that way, you know, they never default. But it's always something going on. Like you see the videos of the older survivors. They have a ball, man, and they work hard. They work real hard. They will outwork the guys most times. They don't complain. They don't cry. They don't mind getting wet. They don't mind getting dirty. You know, because we do it all. We don't go to indoor ranges. My daughters have never been to an indoor range.
Really?
They've never been to an indoor range. They've never been to indoor range, and they like that. I don't think they would know how to even function in indoor range, because they've always been shooting and moving. They've always been shooting behind something, or something of the sort, you know. And it's one of those things, but it's gonna continue, man. And people say, you know, you from the South, so you know. I mean, it's not something that's, you know, unseen or unheard of. It's like I said, you know, this is what we do. This. I mean, I can't tell you that there are things that we do other stuff too as well, but we enjoy doing this more than most things. And bringing people together. Like this, the 2A world is the only world you can bring people that you wouldn't even talk to on the street if you had to have normal conversation. Like you find people of the strangest background or the strangest ethnicities or genders or whatever you want to call it. You find these people in the gun world, and like, hey, they're serious about that stuff, and they have some great stuff. I have different groups of guys that I deal with, and they have different variety of let's say weapons, and it's cool because you get an opportunity to do that. These kids have shot everything from 22s to 50 BMG, you know, Dukes, stuff like that. Like that's
all right.
They've driven tanks. They've jumped out of planes. They've done. you know, like they are adrenaline junkies. The kids are adrenaline junkies. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and it does cost. Do not think it don't cost. But you know, that's what a vacation looks like with us. Like we jumping off something. Either we jumping down the side of a mountain, rappelling or something like that. Like it's something. That's it. Like I have tons of tough boxes with their gear in it. You know, so it's kind of, you know, since they've grown up, man, it's kind of hard because, like I said, they don't open their tough boxes as much as they used to. Because that's what we do. We go to a place, put those tough boxes on the back of the truck, and you know we got gear for whatever we're gonna do that day. And we do it all day long. Like those guys come out, man, and they train. They bring he's a lot of guys, excellent guys. You know, you got JP. He's 11 Bravo. He's a great guy. Great guy. Right? He comes out, takes his time, teaches them everything. We got people that work with DNR. They come out teaching how to do tracking, things like that. It's so much stuff that we do. A lot of stuff we just don't post because it's not what the internet really wants to see. Like we post survival stuff, the internet don't want to see that. You know, but gun stuff, oh yeah, they like some gun stuff. But we will be going. But now we're gonna go start making movies. You know, just movies. So we want to have heroes that reflect us. So we're going to create some heroes that reflect us, whether it's mom, dad. You know, just challenge the culture a little bit. You know, like you know, everybody that reflect us don't look like Sexy Red or look like what. You know, some people do other stuff besides party. You know, and go
right.
And it's not. It may not fit for everybody, but for the people just like you found us, for the people that you fit for, it's gonna be an amazing ride, man. It's not like we make what people can't. We have other classes. No, there are other instructors that teach. I don't necessarily do a lot of teaching. I think they do a lot of it, and I let them do it for other people because, like I said, you know me. I mean, I still got real life going on, but yet I got to make content so that way people can see what we're doing. And because I want it to be, we have so many people in the inbox, man, because what we do is reflecting them, and they love it. Now, there's some other guys. Now, like I told you, you look at demographics, you look at what you got and what you don't have. Now, Instagram demographics, you know, they control that a lot more than they do on Facebook. Facebook, when they see what we do, man, you may have guys, man, that should be in our demographic, but they can't find anything wrong with it when it comes to safety, when it comes to you know advanced weaponry stuff like that. You can't have anything to say about it. But it's always something. It's like, well, why don't you put on camouflage? No, because you know, as soon as those women put on camouflage, they gonna automatically take it and flip the script and say, oh, they're a militia, they're militant, they're this. No, these are moms that come out in their yoke pants, man, come running guns. And we have to do everything to make sure the narrative is not controlled by other people, because that's what it's been. That's why we've been so late to the game in 2A community. Because guess what? Anytime we want to do something, we got stereotyped for doing it. Or we had to have some reason to hang our hat either up under some militia or some anti-government something. It could just be we do this because we have fun doing it. We can't just do it because we like to do it or we like to improve ourselves. Those are things that can never be. So what we're doing now, man, is we're fighting against that. We're doing movies now to address issues that we know Instagram, Facebook, they don't want you to talk about certain things. So we talking about child trafficking and things like that, and we're doing our own videos to help people relate and see what we're doing and see what what that look like in other countries and other places. So the movies, I'm telling you, look out for those. It's gonna be nice. And for training, like we get new trainers all the time, man. It's people like you and other people that come along and they bring things that they've done in their past to help elevate us and give us edge on certain things. So, and at this point, the girls, they still keep up with it. They still keep their bug out bags and things like that, but shooting and being on camera has got to the point where they really honestly want to be able to live. Like the little fame they got, it was great when they were in the gun world, but outside of the gun world, it started becoming nuisance. Because it's like my daughter get into an argument at school with another little girl, and it automatically goes to we gotta have a family conference because we're afraid she's gonna bring a gun to school. We don't run that kind of household, man. We don't run that kind of household.
Right.
My stuff is
all right.
It's in the safe. It is checked. These kids don't deal with guns outside of the range because they know what they can do. They know the devastation these things can bring. And my thing is that when you train, you don't have to have an attitude about something. You just be consistent. You don't have to. When you train, you be consistent. You don't need your ego stroke. You don't need, to be complimented. You're gonna be consistent regardless of what the environment look like, what the weather look like. You're gonna be consistent. You get behind that rifle, and it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. Guess what? That's therapy. You shoot at 700-800 yards, and you trying to hit a target at that distance. You need to be consistent the whole time. Control your breathing. Be right. Keep your eye on the target. Make sure that you got your body lined up right. You land prone, because you have to make sure you're consistent with everything you do. And that's what I try to do with these kids, and even these ladies. You can see them. Like, what do you think right now about the new survivors? They tough, man. They really tough.
Yeah, they are. I can't put enough words to everything you just said. I'm so impressed. I mean, because I'm learning myself. I'm a fan just like everybody else, so I'm learning on the fly. Everything that you just said and put out there. So you actually said they started as early as 4?
Started at 4, yeah. And I worked with kids for a long time, man. We started them early. This is why we started early. People fail to realize certain things about kids, because a lot of people still, even though they like guns, they don't know guns, they like them, and they have these fears because it's like supposed to be like Thor's hammer or whatever. You can't touch it, you can't pick it up. Kids are gonna be curious. This is the thing that you have to understand about kids. You have to let them kids clear that gun, make it free, and let them kids get all the touches out of it, all the touches, because they want to see. They want to know how everything works on that firearm. And then we use that to teach them firearm safety. Because once you take them to the range and they see what it does, then now it's time for us to start teaching safety, because now they know. But ever since we've done that, the kids they don't touch them, they don't deal with them. They're in the safe until, guess what? It's time to go somewhere, because they know what we're going to do. But you have to get that curiosity out, and then you can develop. I don't teach kids to recall information. A lot of people do. They trainers. Trainers mean somebody educated you a certain way, and even if you're wrong, you're gonna continue to do that because you're not educated. You're a trainer. You've been trained to do it this way. And so I don't believe in doing that. That's why I don't train. I believe in help. I don't make people recall information. I try to help people conceptualize stuff. So I give you concept. So that's why when you come out to do survival stuff, you may be put in a scenario. You may be even a concept, whether it's premonition or whatever case may be. You may be put in something that will allow you to have to use concept, not recall. Because a lot of people get into that situation when they recall the information and they miss stuff. Because once you get engaged into a threat and you get that psychic tactic and everything just suck in and you try to recall information, you can't see everything else. But if you consistent and you dealing with concepts, guess what? You're gonna be a better fighter. I'm not saying I know it all, and I'm not saying this works for everybody. I'm not gonna debate what nobody knows, because I don't have to. I show mine. I don't have to debate.
Okay, that's how the real do it. That's exactly how the real do it.
and that's I don't go and I don't have to go back and forth with people about resumes and what you do and what you don't do, because I post mine. I post my resume. My kids are my resume. That's my canvas right there. Anybody's allowed. But I have guys all the time that they'll say stuff like, "Oh yeah, you do this wrong, you do this wrong." It don't matter. These are teenagers. Get your child to do it. And matter of fact, get all your kids to do it at the same time. In secret. Keeping sectors of fire. Doing patrol. Let me see you get your kids to do that. And it wasn't because they were being militant. That was me massaging their brain so they won't be focused on the stuff that we had going on in real life. It was me being able to take them out of one world and put them in another world so they can engage the world on fair exchange. So they can be whole people and still develop. We didn't have to go to therapy and do all that other stuff. No, we didn't have to do that. Because guess what? They had a whole other world we had created. And all those guys that run with me, they came out, they still come out. They cry for hours. You got people like Warren fly out here just to engage with them. He come down and bring all the night vision stuff. We put night vision thermal stuff together. We do missions with the kids, everything. But why? Because you know what though? There are other people that bought into what I'm doing with my kids. And it wasn't for, initially didn't start out for everybody. It really just started out for us to document what was going on with our life. When my ex got divorced, I remember me and my oldest daughter, we were sitting at the table. And she said, Daddy, we were watching Facebook. She said, Daddy, I don't ever remember us being this happy. And when she said that, I said to myself, "You ain't never got to worry about that again." And she said that because we were doing I think we were camping or something. And after that, that's how Survivor Sister kicked off. Because guess what? After that day, it will never be another day that I don't do something memorable. Like people that change the logo. I'm not changing the logo. That logo is every time my kids get down or get depressed or get sad or whatever life going on, they know that we started something that other people really enjoy. A lot of people can't say they do nothing that other people enjoy. We got people that actually come down here and visit. Like anytime, a lot of women will come down and they will visit and they will we will give them just because they reached out, they called, and they saw something they want to do. Oh, any chance I get to share this experience with what the thing that healed my kids, if I get to share that with other people, I do. I have no problem. We have a Pee Wee Pew every year. The Pee Wee Pew is just for kids. Where kids come out and they do that. We have summer camps just so the kids can come out, and we don't charge a whole lot. And the reason we don't is because it's not for that. It's really honestly to be able to share this experience with people who in other circumstances would not get these opportunities. We really all the stuff that people think about shooting or doing, we provide them an opportunity to do it. And that's not because we got a whole bunch of money. That's because we have been blessed, and a lot of people, man, that really look out. They really enjoy what we doing. The internet will make you feel like that you're not on the internet, but you are on the internet. People see like what we doing right now. Somebody gonna see it, and it ain't really. A lot of times it ain't about how many people see it. It's about the right people see it, and that's what I stick with when I'm doing this. I want the right people to see it because this will always be in memory of my 4 daughters who started it, because it started them. They put the work in. You see the videos, and it's not bragging on, but I'm happy for them because I got from this what I wanted to get from it, and that was to help my kids. I had a guy the other day call me from US Today. He called me. He was talking about, we want a list for kid gun tubers, and he wanted to know my stance on them trying to, I guess, get at companies for using kids to market guns or whatever. And I told, I simply told him, I said, man, we don't make no money for this. Like, but he couldn't believe it. It didn't resonate with him that, guess what? I don't have to explain to you what we do and how we do it because of that. Because if you're not part of the family, you're not gonna know anyway. People that come, you see consistent people on that on the page. That's because they part of the family. And it's not like anything special. It's just those people that promote us, we promote them because it's about building. Most of those girls we're building people. We're getting people out of the life that they one day and put them something and making it extraordinary. That's why we start putting people's lives up on the page, so people that they're not just running around in the woods like mamas and aunties and cousins and nieces. That's what we got out here. But we also got the dudes doing it too as well. But I mean, that's about it. I talk all day about it, so I ain't gonna hold you up too much doing it. But I'm proud of them, man. We've got a lot of accolades won a lot of awards. We got a lot of accolades, and I'm proud. That's something they can do.
Oh, hey, don't hold back, bro. Please keep talking about him. This is the place for it. And don't worry about time. This is you informing everybody about what you got going on with you and your girls. And this is an amazing thing in history to me to see 4 girls, 4 sisters at that age doing what they do. So please don't hold back. Let it all out.
It's one of those things where, the kids have really they got old. And as teenagers, man, like I said, people understand like they have, when you run around being badass with a whole bunch of alpha males, when you're a little girl and you trying to be cute and you trying to get your hair done, like you don't want to go out on the weekend and smell like hot dogs all weekend. You don't have to get your willies out. You don't have to get your willies out about it because you've done it your entire life. Like you have the toys to do it. You have the access to do it. And you still will, but like I said, man, they would go to school and I'll get a call from school and it would be the administrator on the phone talking about how we need to have a conference because they felt like my kids were doing violent acts and kids ain't never been in trouble. But that's what happens when people don't in the world. And the gun world is not, it's not a bunch of malicious people. The internet try to make it look like it. But some people just genuinely like, hey, they enjoy pushing themselves. They enjoy doing this. Like those guys that come out and do this stuff with me, it's not like they do it because we're getting paid or we're preparing for something. They do it because I like you just want to be able to have functional fitness and be able to be good at the things. You got all these tools. Why not learn how to use them and use them efficiently? So that's just it. But then at the same time, you can never see how well you do something unless you show other people, unless you teaching it to other people and they do it. And that's it. I feel like I told you, my resume is my kid. I don't go back and forth about that. People always be like, well, why don't you get certified? I ain't got to do none of that. I've done that before. But that ain't, I'm not going to let that be the justification for you mentally to be able to be like, oh, that's why he was able to teach the kids. Nah, how about I did it because I got the skill set. Now, you can run the resume if you want to.
Okay.
I don't really care. But the thing about it is at the end of the day, let me ask you a question. Since everybody love to talk about what all they done in the army, they did X, Y, and Z, they did in the military, or they did in law enforcement. How many times have you been on a mission with your family? We live in America. If something jumped off in America, who are you gonna be with? Your family? I spoke with the black gentleman lady that she was there with her husband. And because they want me to come out and do the same thing, do survivors with the other lady, so I did. And so she was saying, yeah, she bragged on her husband, which ain't no problem, but then, we survivalists. So I put it in return for it. I said, okay, yeah, your husband, he works out every day. He's strong. He was in the military. Y'all got your bug out bag. I said, but let me ask you a question. I said, now you got your husband who used to going on missions with teammates and doing different things. Let's say him and your daughter, all y'all together. He got his bug out bag. He got his rifle. Y'all doing what y'all do. Let's say he slipped down the hill and twisted his ankle. It swelled up like a grapefruit. What do you do? He said, well, I helped my husband. I said, but what about the gun in the bag? Oh, I didn't think about that. So how are you gonna carry that since he injured? I said, do you know any intermediate medicine or dish medicine, anything? And she's like, no. I said, well, you thinking about this right here. Me and my kids call them passengers. When you got people, all these passengers, people they don't slow you down. They don't know where they live. They don't know when they got to use the bathroom. You got to do a lot of stopping when you got passengers. So you need people that can drive. And the thing about it is, if you out there, you training, you doing all this stuff. You and I both know. No, it don't matter if you got your kids in some compound or your family. Any known structure can be taken. Your family should be training, even if they're not gonna slang lead, they should be putting on band-aids. One or two. If you're not gonna slang it, because that's what we're dealing with. You should be doing something that's gonna be functional for the group, because that gives you usefulness. People, really, if it wasn't being recorded, I would talk real crazy. But usefulness is the main thing that you're gonna have to deal with. If something happens, everybody talk about what's going to happen. I don't worry about what's gonna happen. I don't worry about EMP, bombs, zombies, none of that. Because whatever happens, guess what? I'm okay with it. And it's definitely not because I'm not saying I'm a badass. I'm not saying I'm the best shooter in the world. I'm not saying none of that. What I'm telling you is, guess what? That is why I don't have any fear of it. Because guess what? In concept, I'm gonna survive. I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna adapt to it. I'm gonna survive. It doesn't matter what that looks like. Programming is programming. Everybody feel like it has to be some initial onset of things. Anything can happen. We worked with people from Katrina when it happened in Katrina, and I train my kids a lot, man. And that's because if they go off to college, Hear me? Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. The phone went to sleep on me. So it's just that I don't know if he gone or not. But I hope y'all heard most of it anyway. Technical difficulty.
Yeah, it's all right though. Everything was still rolling smooth because I just had the videos running.
Okay, yeah, I apologize about that, man. But no, it's like I'm definitely proud of it. I'm definitely proud of what we're doing. You know, because it's bringing people's different worlds together, bringing people together, and I tell anybody, you got to come see it for yourself. You won't believe unless you see it for yourself. That's why a lot of times, even putting it in videos, don't do fair exchange. So you know, it's one of those things where you have to see it you have to see it for yourself in order to really appreciate it. You have to meet those kids yourself in order to really appreciate the work that has been put into those kids. They're not violent people. They're not angry. They're not none of that. Like they are real. Like I got one daughter. She prays all the time. That's all she does. She believes in God for all of us. Okay. But now when she gets behind that rifle, she becomes a different person. You know, she does. She does. She becomes a different person. She is consistent behind that rifle. Consistent. And I love them for that, man. But I do at the same time. I know I was helping them, but they were helping me at the same time. Because I don't think I would have made it through all that stuff that I was going through if it wasn't for them. So so I'm always be the hero to them because this is what we have. We got to offer the world. And it don't matter who like it. It's somebody like it. It ain't gotta be for everybody. So, you know, that's the gist of it. You know, I'm start running my mouth about it, but only thing I can tell people, man, they got to come see it for themselves. People say, "How do you do it?" You know, you can't market on Facebook and Instagram. DM us. That's all I can tell you. But we opened it to other people, man. And like I said, we host other people. We'll definitely host anybody. If they teaching good stuff or they on the same page, we will host you. We got properties to host people. So,
all right.
Start.
Can you tell me, as far in my eyes and in the eyes of many others, the girls are 2A influencers. So when did y'all start taking everything online and sharing everything with the world?
We started about, it's been about, I would say about 7 years ago. We started. About
really?
7 years. Yep. We started. I used to do a lot of shooting with back in the day with Eric and all them back in the day with Iraq vet, you know, but I never really cared about being on camera or doing anything on camera. But this camera is what, like I told you before, like I said, when everything started falling apart in our personal life, this camera is what, you know what I'm saying, kept everything in focus, to be honest with you. And you know, like nobody saw me for a long time. They always saw the kids. That was really us making home movies in the backyard. Like that was us in our backyard. It wasn't really like we were doing a whole lot. We were shooting in the backyard. We would make hides in the backyard. We would dig out the coda holes so they could learn how to make fires on the ground. We would do all that. You know, and like I said, they had some experience. We trap animals, we snare stuff, we hunt in the backyard. Like that was, we had a full plate, man. We had a full plate. But we started in 2018, we started really just put it on the internet. And you know, we do. Like if you whatever comes to the house, man, the house is always busy. There's always, you know, somebody there that we're doing something with. Those were vacations. Like we went to Tank Town to drive tanks. You know, my kids want to drive tanks, so we done drove tanks. They went to shoot some tanks. We did that. You know, you got different people, man, that come out, man. They do it. They provide a lot, and they really have sold into us, and we want the world to see it, man, because we want the world. We want something great in this world to reflect us. I didn't grow up. My superheroes growing up, man, wasn't Batman and Superman. I grew up doing that G.I. Joe era. So, you know, old Block and the rest of those people, you know, I started seeing cartoons where people reflect me. So, I mean, you know, my kids' heroes reflect them. You
That's
know,
right.
and that's not a slight. That's not a slight to anybody. That's honestly the truth. If wouldn't you want to like somebody that reflects you?
Yeah.
You live in a world. You live in a world that, hey, at the end of the day, we do great stuff too. You know, everybody's platform ain't the same. Like everybody keep thinking that it's comprised of everybody seeing the same people. It's not. We got different demographic groups that we target. You know, I got into it with a dude about doing an event, and I was just like, we don't even start the same crowd, man. You ain't got to have no smoke. We don't start the same crowd. My thing is, I enjoy what I do. I'm not walking around here tight pants up, man, trying to impress another group of people. I'm here to make the world see what we doing, so he can reflect abroad. You know, we get more love from other countries than we do from our own here. To be honest with you, people over in Africa and down in South America, hey man, they show a lot of love.
Really?
They show a lot of love. You know, and because you know, we have a lot of women, man, that hit us on the page, and then other countries, and they'll be like, I wish I had the ability to be able to protect myself. Like, I live in a country where I can't protect, and I wish I was able to even just participate in something like that, so I could feel better about my situation. You know,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of responses, we respond to, because guess what? That's somebody who, you know, they need some hope, man. They need hope.
Right.
So,
right.
But the other nonsense of now, I do get you'd be surprised how many men I get on my page thinking that this page ran by a bunch of teenage girls trying to marry them or trying to get their attention. You'll be amazed by that too. like I know they be talking about child stuff, but there's a lot of people attracting children, because I get a lot of men, even though these kids playing guns, and you know that somebody got to be teaching them this stuff. They're grown men in their inbox.
Oh, no, okay.
Like, so that's why I know something going on in the world. But other than that, but saying that right there to you, imagine what happened if the lights went off tomorrow and there wasn't no rule of law, and those kind of people got to live in the world, and you didn't teach your kids how to protect themselves. What do you think happened? Because I can tell you some of the stories that we hear from other countries where they don't have the ability to be able to protect themselves or access to even own firearms. Those stories are sad. So, you know, like I say, you know, if you live in America, you need to hug your kids and you need to teach them firearm safety and everything else that come along with it. That's just true. Because for some people, it's not a privilege at all. This is a God-given right over here in this country, but, you know, in other countries, it's not a privilege. So we have to, you know, we definitely have to keep doing this, because regardless, I'm not worried about reaching millions of people. I'm worried about reaching the right people. Most of these people that come along, and you'll see it when we go to the video, you'll see it. It's a whole bunch. These are normal looking women. These are not muscle bound women who bench press 475 and squat 280, whatever. But these are women these are mamas, man. These are aunties and cousins and nieces, and they come out and they get this training. And at first they see that it's not as difficult as they thought, but at the same time, we don't ask them to even buy anything. They don't, the ammo, none of that stuff. Like people donate, or the people that come out train, they bring it just because, you know what, though, they want to see how much positive mental attitude these people have to be able to learn, and how fast they learn. And you'll be amazed. If you see it for yourself, you'll be amazed at these women. It doesn't matter if we do a lot of man-to-man stuff with the bus system. Now, if you get a chance, check them out, the bus system. This program is great, man, but it allows them to be able to put all those skills into use to be able to do the hand-to-hand stuff. So we're going to post some of that too. But, you know, the medical stuff, they kind of block us on that when they start seeing blood. We don't use real blood. It be fake blood, but they still block it. I don't know if it's supported. But it's like I said, it's been a journey. We used to have people reporting the page all the time, especially when we first started. The older white guys, they hated it. They reported us for every single thing. They harassed. They would call my kids on the computer, text my kids on the computer. Yeah, I'll shoot you in the face. I'll make you eat dirt. All this kind of stuff. So
What?
Yeah, they say that. There's a lot of angry white men on Facebook. There's a lot of angry white men on Facebook. They really angry for real. This don't have nothing to do with you. And it don't reflect you. We ain't against nobody. But they, when people see me respond the way I do, that's because you came at my children, telling my children they gonna eat dirt, or you will do this to them, you won't do nothing to my kids. That won't happen, man. I don't know.
Okay.
But I learned doing survival that they don't see black kids as nothing but targets. My baby, I had to stop my baby them from watching, listen to the comments. It started out good, then it got real sideways. And my daughter came and she was like, Dad, she read somebody my granddad age telling me he want to kill me. I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like,
oh hell no.
This is not your 1950s. I get you feel the way you feel. I get the American spirit drive deep in you. But you're not gonna hurt my kids, man. I don't know. I know the statistics tell you that the black kids don't have daddies and stuff like that. That ain't 100%. Might not want to go with that one. But the thing about it is in this country, people get to talk crazy and do stuff like that because this is the only country you can live in and have the internet, be a coward, and go on the internet and talk junk. See, back in the day we had showed up on you, people kind of had some kind of understanding, but the internet made it where cowards can have a voice. This is the only place. The internet is the only place cowards can have voices. That's it.
Yeah, and you're right.
It don't work like that because you're not going to do all that. Everybody want to do what they got to do for their family and their children. So I don't know, but I guess they watch too many videos, I guess. But this is what happened. We had, and it's not that we don't exclude anybody. I tell you what, I know a lot of influencers. I met a whole lot of them because we get to be in those places too where they at. The thing about it is like you have these different influencers, and we found this out to be true. The person that they are really reflecting may be a great person, but that group that's marketing for them is just a bunch of pear-shaped men who are angry about the world, and they make it they exclude people. That's why we try to include people. They try to exclude them with time, money, or distance. Those are three ways that they make sure that you cannot participate, either with time, money, or distance. They either have an event so far that you're not gonna drive, or you're afraid to drive because it's not welcoming to you. Time. They always make sure it's the kind of time that you don't have. And money. They'll price you out a product if they don't want you to have it. So they'll design a gun. They'll design a gun, and then the gun will cost $4,000 just so you won't have it in your hand. And that's fine. That's fine. But some people make a lot of to do the same thing. If it's good, then if it's good, we use it. But my daughters, one of my daughters went to every event we would go to, right? She would go talk to a vendor. And the vendor would give her a part. I didn't know what she was doing at first. So I taught them how to put the AR-15 together. So she went to every booth and got a part until she had a whole gun. She had an entire gun. She had everything except the Lord. That's it. That's the only part she didn't have. But she had everything. She had the boat carrier group. She had the front rail. She had the gas. She had everything. And she Frankenstein that gun together. And it's really one of the best guns that I really have shot that somebody put together. It never goes down. Never goes down. But she built it just from getting parts from different vendors. And she put it together. It looked very nice. Very nice. And it's amazing because you that's something that you did, that you can be proud of. Like if you don't do nothing else, like how many 15-year-olds I'm not saying that you got to do it because you do it. It's just the point of that proved to me that the things that I was teaching you were listening. You were listening to it. And you were able to put them together. That's concept. I gave you something and you put together the concept and you built something from it.
Yes.
That was amazing because guess what? Those are the kind of things I try to accomplish with survivors. I want you to be able to interact with people that you wouldn't interact with because of whatever stereotype that you have. That's why I always tell them, change the narrative. You know, if you don't want me to deal with you, then you say that. That's fine. That's fine. But you won't. But you know what? My thing is, we include everybody. We all and I don't want nobody to think this is an all black outfit. No, I have a lot. There are a lot of white people that support it. Matter of fact, a lot of them support us more than black people do. Let's just be honest. They support like this. They support like this. Black people give you likes and all this kind of stuff, especially if something happens. They want you to be on that. But here's the thing. I'm not here for any of that. I'm here to make sure that what we started that was good to me, that healed my spirit, healed my soul, continues to heal my children as they get older. Because no matter what
that's what's up.
Continue to see survival sisters growing. And it's not about nobody else. I don't care if we don't get no follow. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We were doing it anyway, even before we started, we were doing it. So it didn't matter. But the thing about it is the same reason why you have to have it is not the reason why we have to have it. I
right.
In my life for a particular reason because it gives me a certain amount of healing. Because one thing about it, when my children walk out the door, you know what I'm saying? I truly, honestly feel okay with the fact they understand that I need to survive until I get there. Because I'm coming. You know, and they do. Trust me, teenagers tell you everything. They tell me everything. Boys, all the stuff that's going on in the world, all the stuff I don't want to know, they tell it to me. Because like I always tell them. I'm with you on the BS. Don't get me wrong, but if something happens, I want to know where to start. I want to know where to start.
All right.
You're my property, and that's because I love you.
All right.
Baby, that, but like my daughter this weekend, she went to go get her eyebrows done. Her mama called. She called and she was like, she missing. I don't know why they do this to me. I don't know why they do it. So. You know, I had to go into my Zen place. But little that you know, she ended up going to get her eyebrows done, and she didn't, you know, she didn't answer the phone because she was up under doing whatever she was doing. So she called me back immediately because I texted her like, you know, you want your dad to go crazy? If you want your dad to go crazy, don't call me back. Like, Mr. Crazy Man, I'm good. I was getting my eyebrows done. I couldn't get up. I didn't see the phone, but I'm all right. So I'm like, don't get a call with nobody. Don't. She's like, I know. She started going in the whole list of not. She said, I'm not, because I just don't want to. I don't want to imagine what you're going to do. So at least we got something
right.
And if we ain't got no understanding. So that's a good thing. Because they do believe me. They might not like me all the time, but they believe me though.
All right.
And it's not by the merits and nothing else, but there are a lot of other people who sing the same song. I think when they really started going to public school, I think that's really when they realized that the world was not as nice as it is in the gun world. In the gun world, my daughter, she tried out for she went and tried out for a sport. And the girl was kind of, you know, she's a real nice kid, but I think they forget that people see what they've done before they do it, so people try to act a certain way when they interact with them. They try to act like hard and they don't care. But I tell you, my daughter is a great kid. She loves God. She loves talk about God. And she called me. She said, Dad. She said, I don't understand. She said, in my other world, she said everybody liked me, but in this world, she was like nobody's nice. And I was just like, the gun world is a very unique world. Like, it's a very. People think that the gun world, and I'm not saying it's not. I just haven't had the experience. Let me just clarify that. I haven't had the experience. People will say that they always bunch of rednecks that do. It's not. It's not. You will be surprised at the people that we engage and that train with us. I mean, so it's not. I haven't had those experiences. People have been great to my kids. People that you wouldn't even think, they have been great to my kids. They've been great to me. And I'm not giving one particular person or one particular group any yays or nays. I'm just saying that, you know, by being in the gun world, it's a different culture. It's not the same culture. People do not interact. If you ever get to a machine gun shoot, you see all kinds of people, man. You may see punk rockers. You may see thugs. You may see people who you know they got this guy got to be. But you know what though? But in the gun world, they don't care. All they care about is, how, you know, what is it? What's different? You know, everybody bringing something to the table. They keep the gun so interesting, but in engaging. Like You can never buy it. It doesn't matter. Every time you bought a gun, how many times you said when you bought a gun, you said to yourself, "This is the last one I'm gonna buy. I'm not buying him."
Yeah. Oh, bro, I can't even.
You go to the range and you pull up next to your friend and he got the brand new, and it's just like, now I gotta get that. Now,
Yeah.
I went in, I love Dane Defense. I mean, like, but was it the EPD or EMD, whatever it is, the small one, the one that made the Freddy Blackout.
Yeah.
So my daughter got one of those, and I liked the gun. I thought that was great. I thought it was great. So then my buddy pulled up with that Sig Rattler or whatever and the spear.
Okay.
It was like 7 inches. He had a Q suppressor on. It was very nice. Very. Had all the bells and whistles and all the other stuff. I needed something new. Right? I needed something new. I wanted to get something new right then. Yeah. That's why I say it's never gonna be over, man. Because they keep having these innovations. They keep creating stuff. It just gets, people are never gonna stop buying. I would only imagine what it would look like to prove it honestly. like if they were to just have people just go on the front lawn and just put guns on the front lawn and somebody just came over with a drone, I can imagine how many guns somebody found. I'm sorry. America is full of guns. I'm sorry. They know what to put it.
Yeah.
But that's the gist of it, man. Like I don't have too much more. You got some other questions that that pertain to it. Come see it for yourself.
Yeah. I have your website up on the screen. Can you tell people where can they find you online if they want to follow you and find out more?
Okay, yeah. If they want, the best places to go, it would be the Instagram. It's Survival Sisters 3 on Instagram. Survival Sisters 3, and on Facebook, The Survival Sisters. Those are we frequent those. I check those a lot. So if you DM me on any one of those platforms, I'll definitely get back to you. But it's one of those things. People are like, well, how why do we post? At least tell you this too. We don't post a whole lot of stuff because you'll be surprised when you post events. You get crazy people that come out to your event. So that's why we tell people to DM us.
Oh wow.
Address on, like, please y'all, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, if you are showing your gun, cover up the serial number because people will call and report your gun stolen. Okay.
Oh.
If you post an event and you put the address, people will show up at your event uninvited, just so they be nosy or whatever they want to do. So that's why a lot of times we tell people to call because we do shoot a lot. We don't have to steal everything. People come from out of town. We have girls that come from out of town. Like we have Marissa, she comes from Chicago, and every time she comes, we set up a date for her to get her training in. It just depends on it. Like I said, we have a nice connection, a nice we have a lot of trust properties that we frequent, so we're able to have access. So it's just really just you calling and saying want to do it because I'm guarantee you somebody's doing it. Even if it's not me, somebody's doing it. Somebody's getting coaching somewhere. Trust me. So you want to reach us, Survival Sisters 3 on Instagram, Survival Sisters 3, and The Survival Sisters on Facebook. The website, yeah, we check it, but not as much as we check those pages because those are more interactive. We get more interaction out of people on those pages.
All right. Now, what can we expect from you and the girls in the future?
We're gonna be doing movies. We are working that thing out now. We're gonna be definitely doing movies. We've been working with this network to do it. It's just a point of having time. Like it was easy when they were younger, but now the teenagers, they're getting older. That time is a little bit different now, so it's kind of hard. But we're gonna go ahead and start putting them out, so you'll see them. I'll make sure I tag you the one we're gonna post next week. But we're gonna start with short movies, and then we're gonna work our way up to the bigger movies. Because
all right,
making heroes, man, we want to give these kids that we want to give kids something that reflects them as a hero. Not we're gonna try to combat some of that. Like that whole thug nature, that whole XYZ, and it's just a point of like you got everyday men, daddy that same thing. They got hardware too. It's just not people in the street. You got dads that are ready to as well, and you got mamas. And we want that people are able to see that and have that they can relate to, and allows us to be able to market in a way that it's going to be different. So that's what we're going to try in the future. But as far as the kids, like I say, my oldest daughter, she's a junior in college. She's getting ready. She said she's going to law school. The other one's getting ready to go to college. So really, to be honest, like they living life. They think about joining sororities and stuff like that. That's what they doing. They're gonna get back to it, but now the world is opening up a little bit more because they get to make their own decisions instead of just get in the truck. They don't have to do that no more. Old enough now to say, okay, I want to do something. I want to try something. They take time. They do different activities now. Because remember, from like 4 years old up to like 14, 15, you were at the range shooting, doing different methods. Here you are now. You're 11 years old and you know how to do butterfly sutures. and so it's just one of those things where people say, well, that's crazy. No, it allowed me an opportunity to spend time with my kids in a way that I could engage them the most and let them see me as a real person and something that's knowledgeable. It wasn't me talking to them about something I did not know. We have these other instructors. They do train with other instructors, but that's just because a lot of times they'll listen to me, but they don't hear me. And sometimes you have to bring in somebody else that's gonna speak the same thing you're speaking, but it's not from you, so they can hear it a little bit better. And so that's why we bring these other instructors in, because a lot of times I can tell you the same thing, but you get so used to hearing me on the daddy level, on the every other level, that when I say stuff to you, especially if I talk to you all day, guess what?
Yeah.
Kind of numb out. And so the other guys come and like I said, all of them, they call them their nieces, because they're the only little girls out there. They were the only little girls out there. I never forget the first survival game we went to. My daughter Candy had broke her wrist, and she had been waiting to run this game all year, and she broke her wrist. And she was like, "Dad, she's so disappointed." I was like, "Nah, you can still run it with your left hand." She ran it with one hand, and she did real well. She didn't win, but she had the fastest time. She didn't get all the targets, but that was her opportunity that was a building opportunity for me. She ran it, and I ran with her the whole time, yelling in her ear. People like, no, I'm gonna be there. Like I'm the one that's in your ear, making sure that you keep pushing, because life's gonna make you feel like you can't push further, but you can. And I need to be in your ear whenever you feel like quitting. That's it. I am not all together, but they won't know I ain't got together, because I'm gonna make sure they got together. And that's how it works. Survival is about that. One of the girls that come out, we have women that's been abused and stuff like that, and we have to deal with them in a certain way. But we build them up. We build them up, man, and you'll see them little lions come out there, and they are really lions, like they really scrap. We did a hands-on portion, and those girls, they fought the entire time. I was amazed. they did not disappoint. We didn't post it because people get kind of scared, kind of weird about that. But those ladies fought the entire time. They did not give up, not one time. Even when they got knocked down or whatever. And then when they would fight, they had to. It's just that nobody, the guys don't get them back, but it's just getting them opportunity to put pads on and let them go in, because it builds that engagement if you have to have an engagement, and that's what we've been doing with these ladies, man, and they show up. They hike, they fish, they hunt. We took them hunting. We took them hog hunting. They were not scared. They were, we walked over the property, and they got hogs. Put it that way. They got one. We started raining. They still wanted to hunt, and we had a nice hunting weekend. We got beavers, we got rabbits, we got everything. They got an opportunity.
Hold on, Fred, because hog hunting is my thing now.
Oh, for real?
You mean to tell me?
Yeah.
The Survival Sisters even hunt hogs?
Yes.
Oh, that is so dope. I did not know that.
And we said we have a pig breed. You ever heard of a pig breed?
No.
Okay, so we got a pig breed, because we used to go out there hunting with thermal and night vision, because we go out there with a game warden, right? Because we got the people farms that we got to protect. And so we would use the thermal and the night vision and knock them down, because it was easy. But then the game pretty much brought the scientists out, and the scientists like, hey, the only thing y'all do when y'all kill 1 or 2 hogs is, the other ones get away, they move around, it don't matter. And so they came up, they brought us these pig brigs. We set pig brigs up and we we put the food in one place. And it's like you ever seen one of those nets that go over trampolines?
Yeah.
So it's like that. And so what happens is for about a week, they'll walk in and they'll eat. And then we drop the net. And so when we drop the net, they walk into the net, and then they're stepping on the net so they can't get out. So then they start running, bouncing off the net, and we just go the next morning and, clean up.
Okay.
That's easier than trying to wait for them all night. We've done that with the night vision, but that pig brig, we've been able to help a lot of farms out using those pig brigs.
That's what's up. I like it. Now, I mean, I have an idea. I hadn't heard of the pig brig. I've seen the other similar setups that can trap them. But I never that one specifically. But I want to check it out now. You just put me on game big time.
It's really
big time.
Really worth it because the regular traps, you gotta take all that wood up there, take all that mesh wire and all that kind of stuff. This pig brig, man, is less than 50 pounds. So that's the whole entire trap, and you can get almost you probably get about 20 hogs in there.
That's what's up. I gotta check that out. The pig brig. All right.
And so,
all right, say less.
Yeah, we gonna get these ladies rappelling off structures. We go do some ambush stuff. We do a lot of stuff. I can't tell you why, but the opportunities are there, and it's just a point of constantly pushing and constantly getting dealing with the technology, dealing with the science behind it. And building these people up, man. Like I said, I get my payback is the opportunity I had to be able to do this with my children. I want everybody, because you keep hearing me say you got to come see it for yourself. You don't understand how gratifying and relieving it is to do something, and it reflects your children and the help you're giving your children. Like, I'm happy about that. This whole, like, even being a dad, this helped my kids believe me. It did. Like, my friends are echoing the same things that I'm teaching. Not like that, ain't different. But I know sometimes people need, since I don't follow those formal schools of thought or something, people need that reassurance. So that's why I will have them come out. But they're not teaching. They'll tell you they're not teaching anything different than I'm teaching. They're not doing that. It's just the point that sometimes it makes people feel better when you got them out there, because they don't know where it comes from. Because somebody had to teach the instructor, and somebody had to start the organization.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a NRA or UCCA guard that came down and gave them God knowledge, and then they were able to fight. That ain't how that worked. Somebody had the structure. They set up the structure, and they started paying people, and they got into it. They made sure they contacted the right people to be able to qualify people, and they did what they did, and that's how it works. But some people need that to feel better about what they did. I don't do that. Check my resume out. My resume, I got a resume from 2018 of me doing this with 4 little girls, and they do it. They not playing it. They do it. If anybody been around, they'll tell you they never been around those girls. Those girls are efficient, but that's because they had an unadulterated training for probably 10 years straight. But now they're teenagers, so they dealing with life in different ways. So that's it. That's it.
All right, Fred. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us about your daughters, the Survival Sisters. This has been episode 65 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. We had an amazing father on the show. I want everyone to please check out him and his daughters, the Survival Sisters. He told you where you can find them online, and expect to hear and see great things coming from Fred and his daughters, the Survival Sisters. Fred, Thank you so much, boss, for coming on the show.
Thank you, my brother, for having me.
All right. This has been an amazing conversation for me. So I really thank you, and I appreciate everything that you've done, and being here with the girls. And training your girls, and taking time out of your day to come chat with me, man. I really appreciate it, boss.
Hey, man. And like I said, we got some great stuff coming, so I'm going to definitely make sure I tag you so you can keep up what's going on. But if you ever enjoy, hit us up. We got a place for you, man. Got a place.
Definitely. I will do that. All right, boss. Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show. You have a good one now.
All right, be easy.
All right. As I said, this has been episode 65 of the WarDawg Trail. We had the father of the Survival Sisters on today. And he gave us everything that I wanted to hear about how the girls are taught or how the girls are trained, how the what they get into as far as hunting and shooting, that the normal shooting that they do. This has been one of my favorite episodes to do, and that's straight up from the heart. All right, final words. Remember, you can visit my website to find out more about what's going on with the Sergeant WarDawg TV web series or the WarDawg Trail podcast. Or you can also check me out on Facebook at Sergeant WarDawg TV, on YouTube at Sergeant WarDawg TV, or on Instagram at Sergeant WarDawg TV. Also, as mentioned earlier, my nonprofit is now up and active and running. As far as not being operational, but as far as spreading information about the organization. My homeless war veterans Camp Doghouse, which is located in Central Florida, maybe about an hour and a half from Orlando, is now up on campdoghouse.org. Again, my website for my nonprofit, Camp Doghouse, is now up at campdoghouse.org. Next, we have Peaceful Warriors. All right, Peaceful Warriors is an organization that takes veterans out to volunteer around the world. If you happen to be a veteran that's possibly lost their mission or purpose in life, consider becoming a volunteer with me, because I'm also joining Peaceful Warriors this upcoming March 2024, where we will be headed to the Philippines to work on a school in the village just north of the Subic Bay. That's Peaceful Warriors at peacefulwarriors.org. Remember that I am a part of DV Radio. DV stands for Dysfunctional Veterans. You can catch me live on DV Radio at dvradio.net every Saturday night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And my latest bit of great news, bit of good news, my new podcast, Bullets, Blades, and Hooks, will be starting this Friday, December 1st. And this is a podcast where we interview nonprofit organizations that take veterans out to hunt, camp, fish, or shoot. And sometimes they take these veterans out for free. So you want to tune in on our YouTube channel, Bullets, Blades, and Hooks, or on Spotify, where you can find our podcast, Bullets, Blades, and Hooks. All right, that's all the news I have for you. This has been episode 65 of the WarDawg Trail, where we spoke with Fred of the father, excuse me. We spoke to Fred, the father of the Survival Sisters. Have a great week. Salute.